Brian Mudd Show is on News Radio 610 WiOD.
The NFL is requiring booster shots in stricter COVID protocols. I want to bring on Patty Olinger, expert on infectious diseases, executive director of GBAC. Patty, always enjoy talking to you. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, what's going on with the NFL here? I mean, why are we seeing this resurgence?
Well, they saw a resurgence of positive testing and everything. And if you think about it, they're trying to protect the season. You have the end of the season coming up here with Super Bowl, the end of January and everything. And if you have teams go down, it takes everybody down. And so, for the fans, for the players, for the industry, my read is they're really looking at how can we protect at the best of our ability this industry.
Yeah, I get that. But we're talking about a league with the strictest COVID protocols you're going to find anywhere. You're talking about a league with 94% of their players vaccinated, yet they're still having this huge outbreak. And it's not amongst the unvaccinated players. So what does that tell us about this virus?
Well, the virus, we know that the vaccine protects us against serious illness and death. We know that, the vaccine. And that, now with Omicron, kind of lurking around, they know that getting a booster helps protect against that as well as they're starting to look at, are we having the ability to even protect, does that booster shot protect us even more? And the results that are coming back are yes. And so, again, they're looking at what are the best methods that we can protect our players with very strict protocols as we're heading into the, final stages of this season.
Okay, all these players that are infected, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say they're going to be perfectly fine. So why do they need a booster? We're talking about young, healthy athletes who are rarely ever affected by COVID. So why keep injecting them with stuff? Well,
first of all, we don't know, everybody can potentially have underlying medical conditions. And even if you look healthy and maybe you are healthy, that does happen. And we know that. The other thing is that it's also, they talk about tier 1, tier 2 individuals and those who are affiliated with the administration. It's not just the players. It's also the administration as well who are around these players and could potentially become infected and, and then potentially, spread it to somebody else in their family. And those are the types of things that they're really trying to, nail down on.
Okay. Patty, we've talked enough times to know. I feel like you're my friend. But
someday we're actually going to meet.
Yeah, I know. And I like talking to you because we do disagree on some things, but you inject common sense, which is rare in this conversation. But I keep on hearing if. There's an old saying, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. We keep playing this if game. I'm tired of it. I think a lot of people are tired of it. We were told way back when, get vaccinated, we lose the masks, you're good. Well, that sure as hell hasn't happened. Now it's get vaccinated again. Then it's a third vaccination. Then it's a booster. Now they're talking about a fourth vaccination. At what point is enough enough?
Oh, I think everybody is feeling that. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on from a standpoint of the vaccine. We do realize that, that vaccines protect against the serious illness and death. We know that that those who are currently in the hospitals, which we're seeing those numbers in certain locations go up, we know that they're predominantly unvaccinated, 90-some% unvaccinated individuals that are getting those serious infections. We know that the vaccine doesn't protect you 100% from becoming infected. And we know that if you're infected, whether you're vaccinated or not, you can spread it to other individuals. So we're still in this mode, unfortunately, that we have a fairly large percentage of the population out there that is unvaccinated and what we would call vulnerable. And so from that standpoint, the vaccine does help protect. Now, the part about the boosters, it's frustrating. We wanted a one and done. I don't ever have to do this again. Unfortunately, think of the flu vaccine, think of the measles boosters that we should have occasionally, and other things that are vaccines that we sometimes have to have a booster because our, what we call immunity wanes. We're still learning, and I hate to say that, but we're still learning about this virus and our vaccines. And, again, it's a layered approach right now. And as we're heading into this, season of winter and flu, we still need to be diligent and protect ourselves and our families.
I'm not going to ask you to get political because you're not a political analyst, but we both know this has become a political football. But as an expert on infectious diseases, can you give me a reason why, and this is according to National Public Radio and the Wall Street Journal, way back in May, the CDC stopped tracking breakthrough infections unless they were really, really severe? Why would they do that? And they're not giving a comment as to why they quit doing it. But a lot of states kept doing it, and the vaccinated are actually getting infected a lot higher than what was previously noted. Why would the CDC stop tracking breakthrough infections?
I don't know for sure. Yeah, I don't know for sure. I would guess that it's probably logistics. To keep tracking everything becomes difficult. But I don't know the answer to that. It would be interesting to hear what their reason is.
Yeah, because I think it's because they don't want any pushback on the narrative that it's just the unvaccinated who are getting sick and dying, so therefore we're just going to quit tracking it. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you hear from the hospitals themselves, as far as those in the, ICUs and the percentage of unvaccinated versus vaccinated is extremely high in a lot of those, 90-some% in many situations. And so we hear that, but you're right. We don't hear what's the percentage of breakthrough infections. The other part of that is that now with the ability of the at-home test, which if you think about it, testing before you go visit grandma, maybe it is part of how you keep families safe. Is I'm going to test before I go. I lost my voice last week. This is the first day that I've actually been able to talk fairly normal from laryngitis. And it's one of those things where it's like, if I was going to go see grandma, you test before you go. And now that people have the ability to go to Walmart, to go to, the CVS or Walgreens or whoever, and grab a test at home, that's part of the logistics part, is that we're not getting that feedback. It's not required that you go to a testing center that gets logged in. And so that's part of the other issue, is that probably not everybody is alerting that they're positive or that they're actually being tested.
All right, last question real quick, 30 seconds. As an expert on infectious diseases, should natural immunity, should antibodies be part of the picture? It seems like they've just been kicked to the curb.
It is always part of the picture. It's sometimes hard to quantify for people if you think about it. Natural immunity, and I think that, again, unfortunately, I'm going to say it, and I apologize to everybody. We're still learning how good they are. The thing that the natural immunity does is it gives you immunity to one variant for the most part. It doesn't necessarily equate to the others.
All right, Patty, good luck with the voice. Thanks as always.
Oh, thank you.